It's the man whose name that you will forget instantly, saying that I feel the QB position is a tad bit overvalued, judging by these MVP odds. Naturally, the QB is the glamour position in the NFL, one where any well-respected gentleman with a tie on TV will tell you that it is the most important position in the NFL. Even though statistically the best quarterback usually don't win the championship. For example, look at Joe Burrow's numbers last year where he led the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and completions, and his team didn't even make the playoffs. Now, the year Joe Burrow actually made it to the Super Bowl, he had no stats that were actually best in the league. The best QB honors go to Patrick Mahomes that year, and he lost to Joe Burrow's team in the AFC Championship. In Joe Burrow's fantastic year in 2024, Patrick Mahomes' numbers were not that good, but his team made it to the Super Bowl. This leads me to believe there is a trend where a quarterback's best year is rarely the same year he makes it to the Super Bowl or wins it. Let's use an extreme example like a quarterback playing out of this world. This is the 2007 Patriots, where it's a perfect example of quarterback excellence leading his team to perfection during the regular season. And he lost to 2007's Eli Manning, which is the quarterback definition of mid that year. Even though they had two drastically different seasons, both Eli and Tom Brady had the very similar numbers during their Super Bowl matchup when they met. This leads me to believe that a very mid quarterback can match a very high level quarterback in certain conditions. If you put the right pieces around the very mid quarterback, you can get some fantastic results. So to not see Christian McCaffrey in the top 3 of this MVP voting with over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, your team in the playoffs, and your quarterback missing half the year, it does make me scratch my head a little. The 49ers may be the perfect example of taking mid-quarterback play all the way to the Super Bowl and devaluing the position of quarterback. What makes the quarterback position such a cheat code for MVP, where he has to have the ball the majority of the time in the National Football League, which severely hurts wide receivers' MVP cases most of the time. Let's take Tyreek Hill led the league in receiving where quarterback numbers were severely down. But his quarterback, Tua, was in the MVP race as well, despite having Tyreek Hill having a majority of his passing yards. And it wasn't a name recognition thing. Everyone knew completely who Tyreek Hill was because he played with one of the best quarterbacks in the league just a year prior. He won a Super Bowl, for crying out loud, and he played really well in that Super Bowl, making one of the most iconic catches of all time. And mind you, before Tyreek Hill got there, Tua was not that good. Even though being known for his accuracy, Tyreek Hill literally added a dimension to the Miami Dolphins that did not exist before, just by his mere presence. I have to ask, what is valuable if not that when it comes to being a wide receiver in the National Football League? No wide receiver, even though I see some quarterbacks throw it to the same guy over and over again, has ever won MVP in the history of the award. They have overvalued the quarterback position to such a degree that they have undervalued the wide receiver position, where they can't even win being most valuable on their team. And in the most extreme cases, we have quarterbacks tasked with the mission of just not screwing up at all, like in the case of the 2000 Ravens. Mind you, nobody from that defense won MVP that year, and Trent Dilfer, being a respected gentleman that he is, he was the definition of mid that year, and it was enough to win the Super Bowl. Side note, Marshall Faulk won the MVP that year with a monster season in just 14 games of action, where the Rams went 10-6. It was well deserved. The last defensive player to win MVP was Lawrence Taylor. Can y'all sit here and really tell me that there wasn't a defensive player better than an offensive player in any of those years since then? Especially when we're talking more valuable, because defense wins championships. The purpose of this video wasn't to devalue the quarterback position to dirt, but it's to make people believe that other people deserve to be MVP from time to time other than the quarterback every single year.